What's up, Beast People? Titos here, and welcome to a brand new top 5. Today we're gonna go into the top 5 fairy types. So today it's a Pokemon top 5, and I'm gonna go ahead and start with the fairy types. Now, this was actually not my choice, it was Luana's, so thank her for starting on fairy types. But we're gonna go ahead and start with the fairy types, and I'm planning on doing top 5 for every type, so let me know down below in the comments which is the next type you want to see as a top 5, and I'll let you guys know what are my top 5 favorite Pokemons of that type. So today I'm gonna talk to you guys about my favorite fairy types, which was a pretty tough list to go through, honestly, because there is a whole lot that I like about the fairy types, not because of the type itself, not because it may be girly like some people talk about, like, no, it's nothing like that. It's really just because overall I feel like they need to do more fairy types, then I would be able to maybe have more favorites. At the moment, really few. These 5 are about the 5 fairies that I really like, so that's pretty much it. So let's go ahead and get this started. On the number 5, I decided to go ahead and put Zinnias, the legendary Pokemon, and no, I'm not putting it here as a top 5 because it's a legendary, do not get me wrong, and if you're a competitive player, this top 5 is not about competitive, because even though I do like competitive and I sometimes play competitive, I'm not doing this as which is the strongest. It is basically overall my favorite. So Zinnias is here because design-wise, it's not really my thing, you know. I mean, I do get the idea and I like it, but it's not really the, oh, it looks amazing. No, not that type of Pokemon, but it is overall pretty good. Competitive-wise, it's pretty good, honestly, and it is really strong. I mean, obviously because it's a legendary, but still, I do like it, and the shiny version of it looks okay as well because it's white and has a better blue in my opinion, because that's actually my favorite blue. And overall, just it's great. It's a great legendary, and I did play Pokemon X back in the day, so I guess Zinnias had to be here as one of my favorite fairies, you know. And it represents the fairies. It is the main legendary for the fairy types, so why not? With the ability Fairy Aura that powers up every Pokemon in place, Fairy type moves by 33.3%. That is an amazing ability, honestly, but of course it is legendary yet again. I will not stop saying that. It's a legendary, so it's kind of OP, honestly, but still, I just love talking about it. I mean, it is amazing. It is amazing. I love how legendaries are so overpowered and people hate them in competitive, but either way, it is really good. Overall stats are amazing, of course, with the base stats of a legendary 680, which makes him to be really good because they're distributed in a way where it can be either a physical attacker or a special attacker. It has decent speed with 99 base speed, has 98 base special defense and 95 base defense, so it is defense all around good, and 126 HP, which is of course pretty good, but again, it is a legendary, so you can't really talk a whole lot about it. So yeah, this is my number 5 just because overall it is okay. I do take it. It is still better than the other fairies that are out there, for me, my opinion. So that is pretty much it. That's my number 5. On the number 4, we have Sylveon. Now, Sylveon, I do quite like it. I remember the first time I saw Sylveon, and they said that this was the new evolution. I was actually happy with it, because I love all of the evolutions, and I was really happy to see that this was the new evolution. And it looks amazing. Either normal or shiny, it looks amazing. It really just swaps the colors of pink and blue, so that makes him look more like the shiny is a male version, and the original is more of a girly version. And that's amazing. I freaking love it. It looks amazing though. And it is really viable competitive-wise. It is pretty strong. It's pure fairy type. Again, it's one of those Pokemons that represents the fairy type because it was, I believe it was the first or even the second one to be announced as the fairy type. So that is amazing to me, and I really love it. It has an amazing hidden ability, which is Pixelate, increases the power of normal type moves by 20%, and then it changes those moves to fairy type. So that makes the moves being Stab, which makes him stronger since he's a Fairy type, and it still increases the power of the moves, so that is amazing. That is amazing. It's a really good ability right there, so that makes him totally viable competitively. And of course, this is the one that dragons all fear. If you have this, you're good against dragons. Dragons have nothing to do against you. Of course, unless they have a steel type or a poison type move. But either way, it is really strong, learns really good moves, and overall stats, it is pretty good to have as, of course, either a special wall or, of course, as a special attacker with the 110 special attack and 130 special defense. Speed is not really up there, it's not super fast, but you can still run a Scarfed, and it is overall really good. It is overall really, really good, and I do like it. I do really like this design, honestly. It's an evolution, love the evolutions, and it looks amazing. So, number 4 right there. That's my number 4, Sylveon, definitely. And this is a solid choice, not like zinnias, which is kind of shaky, but this one is already a solid choice right here as my number 4. Now, number 3, we have the OG Gardevoir. Now, Gardevoir is just elegant. I always liked Gardevoir since Gen 3, and it actually became a Fairy type. It's Psychic Fairy now, and that makes it really good. It was already really good in the past, and now it even has a Mega Evolution as well. And that just overall makes it amazing. This is an amazing Pokemon, looks great, and it's one of my favorites as far as Fairy types go. It is there. And I always liked Gardevoir, and it has amazing abilities like Trace or Telepathy, Synchronize, so those are all amazing abilities. Of course, Telepathy, it's better for just double or triple battles, but either way, Trace and Synchronize are pretty good. And of course, the Mega has another ability, which makes it even better. Mega Evolutions just made some of the Pokemons even better and stronger. And as a Mega with Pixelate, same as of course Sylveon, it's great, it's an amazing, and shiny forms look amazing as well. I love the design, I love the colors, just overall really impressive. It has really good speed, it has pretty good special defense and really good special attack, so that makes it more of a special fighter than physical, of course, and with decent speed, but that's amazing. You can either make it a wall, or you can make it, of course, a special attacker and just destroy everything in front of you, and it runs a lot of different moves, so it can do tons of damage to any enemy, and competitive-wise, it's great. It's definitely a great Pokemon competitive-wise, and design-wise looks amazing, and I freaking love it. So, that's my number 3, Gardevoir, right there. Moving on to the number 2, we have Togekiss. Now this one is a classic for me. I always loved Togepi from the anime when I was a kid. I did like Togepi. When I found out about a Togetic back on Gold and Silver, I honestly freaked out. I did not know it was gonna evolve, and it was amazing when I found that out, and I loved it. I always loved it, and actually Togetic, it's a great Pokemon as well, competitive-wise and design-wise. I like it as well. And when 4th Gen came around and we saw that there was a new evolution for it, and it was Togekiss, I loved it. I friggin' loved it. And then they actually gave him the Fairy type, which is just made him even better. Fairy flying typing, it's really good on him, and it has great abilities like Hustle, Serene Grace, or Super Luck, and all of those units are honestly pretty good. Those are pretty good units. Okay, Dokkan is getting to me. Never mind that. But either way, Hustle, damage from physical attacks is increased by 50%, but average accuracy is only 80%. Now, of course, accuracy kind of hurts there, but damage being increased by 50% is pretty decent. But nobody really uses a physical Togekiss, I believe. But Serene Grace, it is amazing. With the chances of a move having a secondary effect is doubled. That is an amazing ability right there. And the hidden ability being Super Luck, which raises the critical hit ratio of moves by 1 level. Those two right there are the most used abilities, and that's great. Those are great abilities for the Togekiss. And Togekiss overall runs a lot of moves. He actually learns a lot of moves like Air Sphere, Air Slash, Extreme Speed, Psyshock. There's even more. It can have Shadow Ball, Psychic, Flamethrower, Fire Blast, Aerial Ace. There's a lot of good moves on it. It can learn a lot of good moves. Of course, it can have even more through breeding and move tutors, and it's just great. It can learn basically all types of special moves, and that makes him really versatile and really good for competitive as well. And stat-wise, it is really good as well. It has 80 speed, which is pretty decent. It has 115 special defense, which can make him kind of bulky. 120 special attack, that's where it stands out, and that's how you gotta use it. You just gotta use it as a special attacker, because that stat is insanely good. And 95 defense, which makes him, again, kind of bulky as well. It's not bad at all, with 85 HP, which is okay. And of course attack, we're not gonna even mention it because it's 50, that's just not usable at all. But it is a pretty good special attacker as well, and design wise, I freaking love it. It just looks so friendly. It looks so friendly, so nice. Who doesn't like Togekiss? Come on. There's Kiss on its name, okay? There's Kiss on its name. How you're not gonna like this? Come on. And don't even come with the dumb comments now, okay? Don't judge me. Togekiss is cool. I love it. It's amazing. Don't judge it. That's number 2. And on the number 1, we have one of the newest Pokemons right here, and honestly, this was a no thoughts. Like, I just didn't have to think about it at all. I just saw it and I was like, yep, this is my number 1 right here. I'm gonna start from number 1. This is my favorite, no doubt. Mimikyu. I freaking love Mimikyu. Now, it's not because it's similar to Pikachu or anything, it's just the idea behind it. How they thought about it so much, and the design itself, it just looks amazing. It doesn't look like something that's super strong or threatening or even scary. It is kinda creepy, but it actually can be really strong, and it's actually one of the best competitive Pokemons. It is really good to use competitive wise, honestly. And Mimikyu, I just love it. I freaking love it. It's Ghost Fairy, and the ability Disguise, which is unique to this Pokemon. Once per battle, the Pokemon can withstand one damaging attack without receiving any damage. Damage inflicted through entry hazards, weather, or status conditions will not break the disguise. Damage from confusion will break the disguise. So that is a really good right there ability, because that ability itself gives you a free turn in whatever battle, because you're not going to take damage unless the other trainer can think of something, or you switch it in and you get attacked. But if you play well, you're gonna get a free turn to attack, and that is really scary on this Pokemon, because this Pokemon is actually not by its looks, it is really strong. It is really strong. It can do a lot of damage. Now, its stat numbers might not be that crazy, but it is really good. It has 55 HP, that is not too much. 90 attack, which is okay for an attack stat. It is pretty okay, 90 attack. That's where you're gonna mostly use it. It's as a physical attacker. 80 defense, which is okay. That's an okay defense. 50 special attack, that's not gonna be useful. 105 special defense. That is bulk. That's bulk right there. It can actually be a special wall, so that's gonna be good to tank some special attacks. And 96 speed, which makes him really viable. That's what makes him really good, because 96 speed, it's nothing to look down upon. That is pretty good. So Mimikyu can really be scary, but having those stats, that ability, and of course the moves it has, because it can learn even some priority moves like Shadow Sneak or Fake Out, and that right there makes him really scary with priority. And of course real strong moves and stab, like Play Rough, which is the Fairy type move that's going to use the most, Shadow Ball or Shadow Claw, even though you're not really going to run it special, so you're going to probably use the Shadow Claw. And you can even have access to Wood Hammer, which it's a big what? Like why Wood Hammer? But either way, it can learn a lot of good moves, honestly, and it is a really useful Pokemon, uncompetitive as well. And design-wise, it just doesn't look that threatening or anything, but it looks good. I love it. I love the design. It looks amazing. I love the story behind it. I love how it's a ghost that just wants to make friends. like Pikachu, so it disguised itself like a Pikachu, and it hates other Pikachus. And that's just great. That is amazing. So I love it. It is a really unique Pokemon with a unique ability, unique story, unique design, and it's really good competitive-wise. So that made it right there, my number 1 fairy. And it is the one that looks the least like a fairy. So that's my number 1 right there. Game Freak needs to work on more fairy types so that I can make a better list out of it. So yeah. That is pretty much it for my top 5 fairy types. Let me know down below in the comments what are your top 5 fairy types, and let me know any competitive sets that you might use on those that you really like. And of course let me know which type do you want to see next on the next top 5. And let me know what did you like about the video or what you did not like or dislike down below. Fire punch that like button, and of course subscribe to join the Beast Army for more Pokemon and Dragon Ball content. And I guess I will catch you all on the next one. So until then everyone, stay beast. See ya!